Hello friends, in this video we are going to solve some numericals related to impact of jet on vanes. Here the vane will be unsymmetrical and it is moving with some velocity. So let's solve some numericals.
Okay. From here, the jet is impinging. You can see the blue color. Okay, I'm taking this blue color. From here, the jet is impinging on this unsymmetrical moving curved vane. So how to represent it is moving? It is represented by using this alphabet small u. So this unsymmetrical, here it is written clearly, moving, this is the velocity. This is the velocity of your vane. The vane velocity is represented by u. Okay, so this is v1 is the velocity of the jet at inlet. Keep the terminologies in your mind because these are very important. This velocity diagram is very important from this topic. Okay, so this is v1 is the velocity of the jet at inlet. As you can see here, it is written here. All the nomenclatures I have mentioned it. Let's see there. Yeah, here. v1 is the velocity of the jet at inlet. But we all know that our jet is also moving, our vane is also moving. Okay, but different velocity. Different velocity. So, what is the actual velocity with which this water jet is hitting your unsymmetrical curved plate? So, that velocity is given by this VR1. Okay, this is your relative velocity at inlet. Now, how do we get this VR1? So we know the velocity with which the water is striking. This is your V1 velocity of the jet. We know the velocity U also with which this vane is moving. So in horizontal direction, you have to make this length which is equivalent to your U1. Okay. So U1 is your vane velocity, V1 is your velocity of the jet. So when you join this point C and B, you will get the relative velocity. Okay. And this alpha is the angle between the jet velocity and the horizontal direction. Or you can say the direction of the motion of your vane. Okay. So this is your angle alpha. Same you will get on the reverse side also. Okay. Yeah, for remembering purpose, I will tell you. Alpha and beta. Here you can say alpha. V1 will make angle alpha. Keep this in your mind. And V2 will make an angle beta. Because students many times they write here theta and here alpha. So always remember it will start with V1. Okay. The first line, the topmost line at the inlet, it will start with V1. And with V1, the angle what it is making, it is your alpha. Okay. Similarly, on the outlet triangle side, you will see the angle made V2 by V2 with the horizontal axis is your beta. So I hope it is clear for remembering purpose. Keep this in mind, how to draw this inlet and outlet diagram. Okay, since you draw this diagram clearly and perfectly, it means 60 to 70% of your work is done for solving the numerical. Okay, now this VR1, that is your relative velocity, you can see on the inlet side, it is making an angle theta. The relative velocity is making an angle theta. And this is your vane angle. Okay. So if on inlet side VR1 is making theta, so outlet side VR2, it will make angle phi. All of you, please listen attentively. Okay. Because 14 marks is there for your unit number 4 and 14 marks is there for unit number 5. So 14 plus 14, 18 marks at 28. And this velocity triangle diagram is very important. Okay. So as on inlet side, this VR1 is making theta. Okay. So similarly, you will get VR2 is making an angle phi. So always remember. Now here orientation is different. Here you are getting alpha as the first. On this side, for your memory, you keep in your mind. Let me take some other color. Yeah, I'm taking the red color. Yeah, this VR1 will be tangential to your curved surface. This VR1, as you can see, I am highlighting it with red color. It is tangential to your curved surface. Okay, and VR1 is making an angle theta. Same tangential output you have to see. The first line will be your tangential output. Okay, so tangential will be nothing but your VR2. Okay, and always remember with relative velocity term, you have to use angle theta and phi. So with your VR2 here, phi will come first. Okay, so don't remember here first is coming alpha, here first is coming theta, here first is coming phi and beta. You will get confused. Okay, so you go like this, that here V1, here U1, it is drawn as per the scale velocity triangle. So you have, when you will connect this point, you will get VR1. Now, I hope this three term is clear to all of you. That is V1, U1, and VR1. Now, if you will see on the inlet side, two terms are there, VW1 and VF1. VW and VF1. This is nothing but the horizontal and vertical component of this V1 term. Here you can see no V1. Here is angle alpha. So if you will use your triangle law, so you know that cos alpha will give you the base. Okay. If I will write cos theta, cos alpha, sorry, cos alpha. Okay, in triangle, I will write A, B, and D. Okay, cos alpha will be your base upon hypotenuse. So base is your VW1. Okay, upon hypotenuse, this is your V1. So from this you can write VW1 is nothing but V1 cos alpha. Okay, similarly you can write for sin alpha also. Okay, I'm writing here on this side. Sin alpha will be equals to your perpendicular upon hypotenuse. So perpendicular is your VF1. VF1 upon hypotenuse, that is your V1. So from here, this expression you will get VF1 equals to V1 sin alpha. Okay, so these two expressions you can keep in your mind. Since here W letter is being used, so you can, for remembering purpose, you can use this term that it is the whirl component. It is known as the velocity of whirl at inlet. Okay. Similarly, this F component you can see it is known as the velocity of flow. Okay, and theta and phi you can see here. Theta is the vane angle. It is called as vane angle because normally in question it is asked determine the vane angle. When theta and phi is nothing but your vane angles. Okay, this you keep in your mind. Very important. Okay, so if you know these, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 parameters are given to you. This triangle is given to you. If you know how to draw, how to use these trigonometric relations, you can find rest of all the parameters. Okay, I have seen many students has made mistakes in this topic. Okay, so that's why I'm telling you, be attentive. This is very important. Okay, so this is regarding your inlet and outlet triangle. If you will see on the outlet side, as I have told you, the tangential component will be your VR2. Okay, there will be one velocity component at outlet. This is the jet velocity. V2 is jet velocity at outlet. You can see here. V2 is velocity of the jet leaving the vane, or you can say velocity of jet at outlet. Okay, and it is making an angle beta. Okay, so you can write like V1 is making an angle alpha, V2 is making angle beta, okay, with horizontal, okay, and VR1 is making angle theta, and VR2 is making angle phi. This you all keep in your mind. Okay. Here you can see angle beta. Now I am talking about angle beta. For angle beta, it is less than 90 degrees. Means it is acute angle. Okay, we will see three cases when beta is less than 90, when beta is equals to 90, and when beta is greater than 90. Three cases will be there. Okay. Based on these three conditions, your expression for your what we say force calculation and work done will vary. Okay. So I hope it is clear to all of you related to this velocity diagram, inlet and outlet velocity triangle. I hope it is clear to all of you. If you have any doubt, you ask me, I will clarify it. Okay. And then we will see few numericals. Okay. I can see many of you have written clear, sir. So, well, if in the examination this velocity triangle diagram numericals related to, if it will be asked, I am considering that you people will be able to solve it. Now, let's move on to the next slide. Yeah. Okay. This same diagram you can see just for a fast revision. I will say that I will write the formulas for the three conditions when beta is less than 90 degree. Okay. Force term derivation we have seen in the last class, so I'm not going to repeat it. Fx equals to can anyone tell me in the class? Rho A VR1 in bracket what I will write VW1 plus VW2. This is the first formula when beta is less than 90. What will happen when beta equals to 90 degree? The formula changes to Fx equals to rho A VR1 in bracket there will be only one term. Okay, because for that this if beta will be 90 degree, so this B2 term will vanish. So here only using VW1. Keep this in your mind. Okay, when beta is greater than degree, then the formula for your Fx equals to a VR1 inside bracket we will write VW minus VW2. Okay, the three conditions for beta variation. Okay, now next force term we have seen here force. I will write force. Okay, now work done. After this we normally calculate work done. Work done equals to, we all know that formula, force into displacement. Keep this in your mind. Force into distance. So what for we used Fx into u. Okay. So here generalize this Fx term. Generalizing this Fx term means considering all the beta conditions. So for that I can write rho into A into VR1 inside bracket I will write VW1 plus or minus I am writing, okay, generalizing VW2. So this is the work done term, okay. One more term we have seen in the last class, per unit weight of the fluid striking per second. So when per unit weight is coming into picture, I will write in short work done per unit weight of the fluid is striking per second. Okay, so we have seen that formula rho into VR1 inside bracket you have to write VW1 minus VW2. into U will be there. Here to mention U. Okay. Yes. Divided by your per unit. So weight is nothing but mass into acceleration. Acceleration will be acceleration due to gravity. So I will write for acceleration due to gravity G, and for mass term rho A V will come in mass flow rate VR1. Okay, so from here we can cancel out VR1 and VR1, and what you will get 1 by G into VW1 plus or minus of VW2 into U, Newton meter per Newton. This will be the unit for this. Okay. So in last class, I have told you that this derivation is very important for your examination point of view. Derivation. Okay. Now we have also seen the term for efficiency. So if you will remember, I will write the direct final expression. It is efficiency is nothing but in simple terms, if you will remember, it is output upon input. Okay. So output is nothing but this value. Whatever we have obtained, this work done, this is your output, and input is your kinetic energy. Okay. So you can directly write rho into A into VR1. Inside bracket, we can write VW1 plus or minus of VW2 into U. U is your velocity of the vane. Okay. And kinetic energy of the jet is nothing but half mv square. Okay. Half mv square. Okay. So here we will use the jet velocity. Okay. Velocity of jet, mass flow rate of the jet. So this is nothing but mass flow rate. For this mass flow rate, what I can write? Rho A V1. Okay. So this is regarding the efficiency. So this I have done the revision of entire what I have discussed in the last class in detail. Okay. Why? Because this is very important. After this, we have seen one numerical also. We have solved this numerical. So I'm not going to see this. What you need to focus or see here, the beta that is used, beta was less than 90 degree. Okay, beta was less than 90 degree. Now we will see the next case or the next numerical where beta is equals to 90 degree, or we will see for beta greater than 90 degree. So I hope all of you is ready with your calculator. The question is there on your screen. We will write down first what are the given inputs, and then we will see what the question is asking. Okay, and then we will solve it. So let's read the question. A jet of water having velocity 40. Let me remove this from here. Yeah. All of you, please be ready with your calculator. Okay, I need your response. The jet of water is having the velocity of 40 meter per second. Okay, here the jet of velocity is given. Now it strikes the curved vane. It strikes the curved vane which is moving with a velocity. So velocity of the vane is also given. Jet is making an angle 30 degree with the direction of motion of the vane at inlet and leaves at an angle of, please mute yourself, some noise is coming. Outlet angle is also given. So these are the given inputs. What it is asking you draw the velocity triangle. See here, draw the velocity triangle at inlet and outlet. Determine the vane angles. Vane angles means theta and phi it is asking at inlet and outlet. Vane angle at inlet and outlet. So it is asking you what is theta and what is phi, so that the water enters and leaves the vane without shock. Okay, what is the meaning of this line? This line is telling you that VR1 equals to VR2. Okay, so I hope it is what is given in the numerical, it is clear to all of you. Now, first of all of you try to draw the velocity diagram of your own. I will give you the inputs, what is given. V1 is given, U1 is given. Okay, the angle made by jet at inlet is given, that is alpha. Angle made by the jet when it is leaving is 90 degree, that is beta is your 90 degree. U1 and U2 is given. So try to draw the velocity diagram, okay, all of you on your notebook. Then I will just show you on the screen and you can cross check and let's see whether are you able to draw it correctly or not. You can see here, as I have told you earlier also, that you have to start with your V1 on the inlet side. Okay, you have to start with this point. Why this is coming here? Please remove this filter. Yeah, now it has removed. So you have to start with this point and you know the angle alpha is given 30 degrees. So you have to draw an angle of 30 degrees starting from here up to this location. Okay. Now U1 is also given. So this parameter, you know, alpha is given. So you write alpha. Now rest of the remaining triangles you draw, this is your VR1, and keep in your mind theta is the angle, that is vane angle made by your relative velocity term at the inlet, which is represented by VR1. Okay, and you join this vertical and horizontal line. So your vertical line is nothing but VF1, flow velocity, and horizontal is your whirl velocity, VW1. This is your U1. U1 equals to U2 equals to U. Okay, because this U is nothing but your vane velocity. Okay, so I will write U1 equals to U2 equals to U. So if U is given, you know what is U1 and U2. Okay, now you tell me if V1 is known to you, if alpha is known to you, can you determine what is VF1? VF1 will be, yes, who will tell me? V1, sine or cos? Anyone from the class? I have given around half an hour lecture on this.
V1 sin alpha.
Yes, VF1 equals to your V1 sine of alpha. Okay, so you know the value of V1, you know the value of alpha. You can easily calculate what is your VF1. Okay, now next is your VW1. Since this is your sine alpha, this VW1 is the base. Okay, so when base is coming, you have to write V1 cos alpha. So you now know the term, what is VF1, what is VW1. Okay, so if you know these two terms, U is already given in the question. So what will be the CD? So for CD, can I write CD equals to AD minus AC? Okay, and AD is what? VW1, and AC is what? If you will see in this triangle,
U1.
U1. Okay, so CD is nothing but VW1 minus U1. Now, in the question, it is asking for what is theta and what is phi. So here we can get the value of theta. Okay, what is tan theta? Tan theta equals to perpendicular by base, that is BD upon CD. So we need trigonometry here. What is BD? BD is VF1. What is CD? Just now we have written VW1 minus U1. Now you tell me what is the value of theta. Solve this and tell me the value of theta. So you can see here, if you are getting this 53.79 degrees, then you have obtained the correct answer. Anybody obtained this answer? Yes, 345, correct answer. Okay, like this you have to respond. Okay, then this class will be interesting. Now, we have obtained the value of theta. On inlet side, again I am staying on the inlet side only. We have calculated what is your VF1, what we have calculated VW1. What is remaining? Remaining term is only left, that is VR1. Now we know the value of theta also. Theta is also known to us. So we can write here like in triangle, I will write here BCD. Okay. If I will write what is sine theta is perpendicular by hypotenuse. Okay, so perpendicular is your BD, hypotenuse is your BC. Okay, so BD is your BF1 and BC is your VR1. BF1 you have already calculated. The value of theta is known to you. So from here you can calculate VR1. VR1 will be nothing but BF1 upon sine theta. Okay, so here you can see like this only they have calculated sine theta equals to Bf1 upon Vr1. So Vr1 you will get Bf1 upon sine theta, that is 53.79 degrees. So you will get 24.78. Okay, and as I have told you here only, if there is no shock, okay, then Vr1 equals to Vr2. So you have to use that relation here. Vr1 equals to Vr2 and that is equals to 24.78 meter per second. Okay. Now on inlet side, every parameter is known to you. Now you have to look for the outlet triangle. On outlet side, what are the values that is known to you? You know that this beta angle is 90 degrees. This is 90 degrees. So automatically it will be 90 degrees. Beta angle is 90 degrees. Okay. And since this is perpendicular, so here you can see the perpendicular component. Here we were writing Bf1. So here if beta is 90 degrees, Bf2 equals to V2. Okay. And for this case, one more condition is there. If beta is 90 degrees, then where is your VW2? VW2 is nothing but it is 0. Okay. And VR2 you have calculated. VR2 you have calculated. VR2 will be equals to your VR1. Now you have to use your trigonometric relation here. Cos phi in this triangle, in triangle GFE. Okay, what will be your cos phi? Cos phi will be again based upon hypotenuse. Base is your GF and hypotenuse is your GE. Okay, so GF is your U2 and GE is your VR2. Okay, this is your cos phi. U2 is given, the value of U2 is given in the numerical 20 meter per second. And VR2 you have calculated here 24.78. Now you use your calculator and tell me the value of phi. Anyhow, it is written here on the screen. Phi you will get 36.18 degrees. So this is your answer. This is very important numerical. So keep this in your mind. And normally this type of question is asked. Okay. So I hope it is clear to all of you. Now we will see the next question. When beta is more than, or you can say beta is your obtuse angle, means more than 90 degrees. For this case, how we will solve the numerical? Let's see first. Okay. First we will see what is given in the numerical. Let me drag this down. It is creating disturbance. Yeah. The jet of water diameter is given. Okay. If diameter is given, what should come in your mind? You can calculate cross-sectional area of the jet. That is your small a. Having velocity of jet V1 is also given. Okay. Velocity of jet. Strike curved vane which is moving with velocity 10 meter per second. U is also given. Okay. So while reading the question also you can write what is the given data in the direction of jet. Okay. So here this term you need to understand. that the jet of water is striking in the direction of jet. So this statement will give you some information about how to draw the inlet triangle. Okay, the jet leaves the vane at an angle of 60 degree. The jet is leaving means V2 is making an angle of 60 degree with your horizontal. Okay, to the direction of motion of the outlet. Okay, direction of motion of the vane at the outlet. Okay, V2 is making 60 degree with the direction of motion, direction of vane at the outlet. Now, these are the given inputs. What the question is asking? It is asking you force exerted. If you remember the formula for force exerted, Fx equals to rho A VR1 under bracket VW1 plus minus VW2. Okay, this is your relation for the force. Work done. Second, it is asking work done. So simply you have to multiply this with your U term. I will write here. Okay, multiply this with U. Now, first you have to write down all the given data. Then you have to draw the velocity diagram. So this is your velocity diagram. Okay, velocity diagram is very important. And as I have told you here, let me change the color. Here you can see I have highlighted this line again and again. Okay, the jet of water is striking, having diameter this much, velocity this much, is striking a curved vane which is moving at certain velocity. So this is moving with velocity 10 meter per second. Okay, the jet leaves the vane at an angle 60 degree to the direction of the motion of the vane, and it is in the direction of jet. So this jet is striking the vane in the direction of motion of the vane. Okay, so this is the direction of motion of the vane. So this is your V1. So for this case, your V1 equals to VW1 horizontal component. Okay, as you can see here, it is clearly written V1 equals to VW1. Okay, now we know that vectorially we can represent this U1. This is also you have to represent in the direction of motion of this vane. So it will be also in horizontal direction. So for U1 I will choose some other color. This is your U1. Okay, so we all know that VR1 is nothing but it is the difference of, for this case, okay, because here we don't have any angle. So VR1 will be equals to your V1 minus U1. Okay, here we know that VW1 equals to V1. What is VF1 for this case? VF1 will be, yes, anyone? It will be 0. This is the vertical component of your velocity V1. Okay. So now this is the inlet side. On outlet side, as I have told you, the water jet is leaving, making an angle 60 degree with the direction of motion of the vane. So this angle is given 60 degree, and this is your V2. Okay, so we all know that V2 is making an angle beta. Okay, V2 is making an angle beta. Once again, I am writing here. V1 will make alpha, V2 will make beta, VR1 will make theta, VR2 will make phi. This you remember. So here, this is your angle beta. Now, since two parallel lines are being intersected by this straight line, this is your first parallel line, top one, and this is your second line. This is 60 degree. So this beta will be 120 degree, because the sum of this angle and this angle is your 180 degree. Okay. So from here you can get the idea of what is V2. Okay, V1 is given in the question. What is the value of V1? 20 meter per second. U1 is also given. U1 is your 10 meter per second. So this is your 20, this is your 10. So from here you can get what is your VR1. VR1 will be 20 minus 10 will be 10 meter per second. Okay, and we all know that VR1 will be V equals to VR2. VR1 will be equals to your VR2. Okay, we are considering this. Now, what is the formula for your force? Force term it is asking now. So first you have to calculate. Let me show you. Okay. Someone is asking me, sir, combined velocity triangle is similar problem or different, sir? I'm not able to understand what you are trying to ask me. Okay, first solve this numerical and then we will discuss what is your issue. Okay, so here you can see whatever just now I have told you, which is written here on your screen. This diameter is whatever the given data. Based on your diameter, you can calculate your cross-sectional area. V1 is given, U1 is given, alpha is 0. You can see here alpha. Alpha is making by V2. And since V2 is horizontal, so alpha is 0. Beta is 120 degree. I have written here beta is 120 degree. U1 equals to U2 equals to U equals to 10 meter per second. Given in the numerical, VR1 equals to VR2. VR1 equals to your VR2. Okay. Now, next, go to the next slide. Okay. VR1 they have calculated. VR1 equals to AB V1 minus U1. From here you will get what is VR1. So since VR1 equals to VR2, so you can write this is also equals to VR2. VW1 equals to V1 equals to 20 meters per second. So on inlet side, we have determined all the values. Next, we need that velocity triangle diagram here also for better clarification. Let me see how I can get it from here to there. Or I'll explain you on this slide only, because here we have the velocity triangle diagram. Okay. Now we know that VR2, what is your VR2? We know that. Here is your outlet side, VR2 is we have calculated that is equals to 10 meter per second. 10 meter per second. Okay. Now this is your phi angle. We know that VR2 is making an angle phi. So how we will determine this value phi? We have to use your sine rule. Sine rule, okay, in your triangle EFG, EF and G, okay. Since this is 120 degrees, this will be your 60 degrees. Okay. Now I will write here, okay. On the left hand side, I am writing in triangle EFG, okay. Can I write using sine rule? EG, this is your EG. This side, angle just opposite to this side is 60. Okay, so I will write EG upon sine 60 degree equals to GF. Now I will write GF. This is your GF. So this angle we need to know. What is this angle? What will be this angle?
$120.
This sum of all these three triangles will be 180 degree. Okay, so we can write 180 degree minus 60 minus 5. So we can get this angle. Okay, so I will write here GF upon sine 180 degree minus 60 minus 5. So 180 minus 60, it will be 120 minus 5. Okay, can I write like this? Now, if you will see what is EG, EG is your VR2, that is 10. We know that value. So for EG, I am writing 10 upon sine 60. The value of sine 60 you can calculate from your calculator. Okay, equals to GF. GF, if you will see here, from here up to here, it is nothing but your U2. Okay, and U2 is given in the numerical. You can see here, U2 equals to 10 meter per second. So for U2 also, I am writing 10 upon sine of 120 minus 5. So can you calculate what is 5? You do the calculation fast and tell me. So this 10 and 10 will be get cancelled. What is remaining? Sine 60 equals to sine 120 minus 5. So we can write sine 60 equals to sine 120 minus 5. Okay. So since here we have both signs, so we can write 60 equals to 120 minus 5, and from here we will get phi equals to 120 minus 60, that is your 60 degree. So we have obtained here phi, that is your vane angle. Okay. Now what is VW2? VW2. This is your VW2. So VW2 we can write as, I will write here, VW2 equals to U2 minus this value, GH. GH. For GH, can I write VR2 cos phi? This is our VR2, this is our phi angle. So I've taken its horizontal component. So you can easily get VW2 equals to U2 minus VR2 cos phi. You know the value of U2, that is 10. You know the value of VR2, 10 cos phi. Phi we have just now calculated 20 degrees. Okay. So if you will solve it, you will get the value of VW2. Okay. Please solve it and tell me the answer, what you are getting. If you will solve it, you will get, let me see the answer. You will get 5 meter per second. Okay. You will get 5 meter per second. Okay. Now, come again to the question, the first part of the question. It was asking the force exerted by the jet on the vane. So this is the formula we know, rho A VR1 VW1. Here beta is greater than 90 degrees, so we will use minus, negative sign. Okay. So plus you can remove, minus only will be there. So using this formula, you can calculate here. Yeah. Fx you can calculate easily. Rho A VR1 into VW1 minus VW2. Okay. Here negative sign is used because beta is an obtuse angle. When you will solve it, you will get this as your answer. The next part of the question is asking for the work done per second. So as I have told you, Fx into U, you have calculated Fx, you know the value of U. This is your work done. So I hope it is clear to all of you. From your textbook, try to solve one or two more numericals. Okay. Now, time is over. From your textbook, try to solve few more numericals at your home. If you find any difficulty, we can discuss in the class. Okay. So that's all from my side. If it is clear to all of you, you can type in the chat box, clear, sir. If anybody is having any doubt, you can ask me. So nobody is asking, it means the solution to this numerical is clear to everyone. Okay. So I'm going to stop this meeting. That's all from my side. Have a nice day. I'm going to end the